Yo, what is going on, guys? Aspect Game at once again, GTNH, and today we're going to be entering LuV. So before we move on, I added a new legless control system here. So redstone torch going to a timer. So this turns on when there's an item in the middle altar. And basically, I was seeing an issue where occasionally items are being pushed so quickly into here that the middle altar was receiving its item so quickly that the comparator didn't even notice the change. So that's interesting. And because of that, we'll just take this every now and then, and it'll notice the change. So it's probably a more efficient way to do this, but that's what we're going to do for now. I will search for a more efficient control circuit. Additionally, I split off to a new alchemical construct my nugget duping for tantalum. There are more nugget dupes that I'm interested in, so we will work on that when we want that. Over here, I brought this back over here, the focal manipulator. We're going to bring that probably over there later and mess with that with the world accelerators. I have a new setup over here. I wanted red dye. So I have some roasters in here. I guess they're roosters, but red. They're just chickens. And they actually drop red dye. So that's how we're getting that now. And I have some new features around the base. So I've been messing with these control panels. So, or the information panels, not control panels. But yeah, this is going to give me a status for all my drills and things that are out there. And now that I know that that drill is done, I can go and grab that. And I have another one over here. This is for my LSC. So this will help me diagnose issues with it, and also give me a view of my EU usage, so I can tell when I have to upgrade my power supply. I've also made two pretty significant upgrades to myself. So a small one is a purification talisman. This is going to help me purge warp just slowly. It gets rid of it over time. And the universal wireless terminal. This thing is crazy. So I built a wireless setup over here. Should have done this a long time ago, to be honest. It was super cheap to do. But yeah, within a 200 block range, I press the Q button. I access my entire AE system. It's crazy. This is so, broken. So I don't even need the control room anymore. We don't need to be in that room anymore. We could be anywhere in the base. So I need to be designing every area of the base to be cool now, which is a curse and a blessing, because it'll be more cohesive and interesting, but now I need to do more work, but it's okay. Now, for the main task at hand today, the assembly line. So we can go ahead and place this. It's taking a while. Oh, wait, it's trolling me. Look at that. It's placing energy hatches all along the top. You can't be doing that. Is it taking them from my AE2 system? That's kind of crazy if it is. Yeah, don't do that. I want you to be regular blocks. There we go. The assembly line is complete. Now we're going to be set up some simple automation for this. You can watch the new video that got dropped by 9, which goes over this. This is the same principles as my Thaumcraft setup that I made the other day, where we have a whole bunch of inputs that take specific items and specific priorities. So this is taking that to the next level, but with GregTech machinery, as we could see. So I actually noticed something interesting. The fluid processing pattern terminal is typically how you're supposed to make patterns for this guy. This needs LuV components, though. But however, inside of my advanced, or whatever, the combined wireless card, I already had that terminal in here, and I didn't even make it. It just came as, part of the thing. So let me double check it. Yeah, there is no wireless fluid processing pattern terminal. It's just this one, which is quite much less expensive. Well, that's interesting. That saves you a whole bunch of LuV components if you want to go for that route, which I don't see why you wouldn't, because this thing is broken OP. Let's go over what we got here. I think it's a pretty straightforward setup, to be honest. Again, if you're confused by it, 9 dropped a new video on assembly line automation. It goes over all these basics. Again, it's also the same as my Thaumcraft setup, so I explained it really well the other day as well. But, so we have our main net right here, and to prove that, we'll click on it with this. And then this goes directly to a subnet. So we have a quartz fiber, goes to my subnet. This has an ME controller because it has a lot of channels, more than 8. I have a debug terminal here just in case stuff gets stuck in there. I have a visibility into it, which is good. But yeah, you alternate the cable colors. So as we can see here, I have a dense cable, which is not colored in the bottom. And then you alternate the cable color here. And then you have storage buses all along the side. So all along all your input buses, and then your 4 input hatches. So yeah, as soon as you push items with this interface here, with blocking mode on, by the way, and this with an advanced blocking card, it will transport items directly to the interfaces in the order that you want them in the order you pattern the items in. So that becomes very important. In order to start crafting components, we're going to do some scanning. So you have to put things in the scanner with a data stick, and then you research them, essentially. So we're going to be upgrading from IV to LuV motors. So we're going to put the motor into my scanner, which is now sat in my control room. And these recipes are a little bit long and annoying, but it's okay, because you only got to do it once. And then once you have the data stick, you can put them into the assembly line, and then you've unlocked that craft. An interesting thing with assembly line recipes is that they require duplicates of ingredients, but in different slots. So to get around this, you can actually pattern this using the renaming mold. So this is a mold that you just make, and it allows you to rename items. You put it in an anvil. So we have 3 different plates with 3 different names, and now we can make up to 4 different items that are identical in the same recipe, just with different names so that it fulfills the requirement of the buses. So we just need to pattern this stuff out, and then we can craft it easily with the assembly line. I already made an advanced data hatch. I wanted the bigger one. It's annoying me that the other one was only 4 blocks or 4 input slots, so we made a 16 slot one. And we're doing much more research as well. I want the energy hatch. I want the upgraded plates. I want a lot of stuff. So we're going to keep going with all that. And now I'm going to start patterning stuff, and then we can move on to the next task. You know, sometimes the task at hand is redesigning your base. So I want to get rid of my lawn base. I don't like it. It doesn't make me happy. So we built this long hallway. This is temporary. I'm going to improve the design of the ceiling and walls at some point. Who knows when that's going to be. But what I want to be doing now is moving multis and hiding them in the walls and stacking them and wall sharing them and giving each of them their own little spot. And like if I want to extend the wall, just remove this divider and then have a huge line of them. Like that's kind of the idea. And it kind of like hides the IO a little bit, but I like to be a little bit transparent with the IO down here. So I want to have this stuff make sense and look nice and be in a way that looks kind of cool. And there's going to be a bit of verticality to it, so I can go easily from the below level to the upper level of the base, and it's going to be pretty neat. I think this will work out really well in the end. I bet you're starting to see the vision coming through here. So I want to like encase the multis in blocks. I just threw abyssal blocks down for now. And by the way, I had to rebuild this just to rotate it. It was like right here, so I'm like, all right, let me just do it again. But now we're set up properly. We can use this if I just program the recipes in. The buses are all set up with the proper priorities again, double checked, and we're ready to roll with the assembly line. And then as we can see here, we're going to reserve 2 whole slots for assembly lines because we can parallel these 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 above as well if we want to, which for a total of 12. And if we really want to, we can move this out of the way and then do a 2nd row, 3rd row, 4th row, whatever you want, you know? Probably won't need that many of them because I think you get the advanced assembly line, which I'm not sure if it's bigger or not. Let's take a look at it. No, it's the same. It's just like the different block, I guess. That's all it really is. Okay, that'll work out perfectly then. So we're going to reserve a lot of room for assembly lines. I know we're going to need a lot of them. And I also left enough space to make them all longer whenever I want to. Because right now we went for the one that's the best for like most recipes. Maybe we'll do a couple that are the bigger ones. We'll see how it shakes out because I don't know yet. We haven't got that far yet. So I guess I'm going to start moving more multis over into these areas over here, I suppose. And then we can start working on this wall for a 2nd layer of all this stuff just on this side instead. Okay, we're working on things. We moved a whole bunch of setups over. I'm working on bringing back online my double vacuum freezers. I'm moving my vacuum freezer from the old IV setups over to this guy as well. So this will be able to do both auto crafting and the automatic crafting of the hot ingots. So that'd be pretty nice. I gotta hook up that subnet before I forget. Let me just do it right now. Because otherwise I will forget about it. And that would not be good. There we go, online now. So this one over here, I added a new dual industrial material press. I probably missed something somewhere in this, but it's okay. I'll fix it in a moment. But yeah, what this guy is doing is essentially, I want to share the buses for the most common circuits. So Bender 1s and then 10s. So these are going to be sharing those recipes and doing them twice as fast. There's just so many of them. And it works a lot, especially on bigger crafts. The 10s can take a long time. So circuit 10s can be dualed here, and so are circuit 1s. And then we're sharing power down here as well. So I got to figure out what the incomplete structure is on that, and I'm going to finish that. And then the maceration stack I moved over here, pretty simple. I found a new building block. We could see here the Stave Alloy frame boxes. Stave Alloy is infinite for me, so I think it looks pretty nice. Matches the color palette, I think. I'm colorblind, so I kind of don't see very well. But, you know, it kind of has like a greenish tint to it, but I don't mind that. It looks pretty cool when it blends in. So we'll be using that to prop the machines up because it's also infinite. So that means I can just do whatever I want with it. And yeah, that's where we're going to be going from this. Let me debug this guy. I forget what I'm missing. Oh, it's the muffler. I'm missing the mufflers. Okay, that's easy to add though. I've brought my lathe over to the new area. So I upgraded the pipe casing to Quantium. This is almost the best that you can get, like honestly. I got a whole bunch of Quantium dust from one of the planets that was mining. I think it's the small dust there. But yeah, this is used for as the item pipe casing for a couple different things, but the only other tiers higher are Flux Electrum and Black Plutonium. So we're going to be increasing our efficiency of the lathe quite a bit with this step up. And we also went from EV to IV, so I'm hoping that this thing will be a lot nicer now. And I gave us some more input slots because the screws were encroaching on the random items, so now we have plenty of room for screws in here, and we're not going to have to worry about it anymore. Also, the compressor is over here again, and this thing is so large, just unnecessarily. And yeah, that's all it is, a big box with 2 inputs. So I've had enough of moving things over for now, so we're going to build something new. A pretty big issue presenting itself in LuV is that I require a material called Samarium. So we're going to be working on getting a small chemical line set up to just temporarily do this, because I do have a solution for this at a later date, which is the meteors. But at the moment, we're going to work on this little chem line. So we need to get to Samarium in this electrolyzer recipe. There is alternatively a better recipe, it looks like, with the distillation tower. I don't know how to get lanthanum right now, though, so we're going to not do that. And also at ZPM, which is a lot of energy at the moment. But it's okay. We're going to go with this recipe. And then we're gonna walk down the line here. So to get this samarium chloride solution there, all you gotta do is mix it with salt. And then if you notice here, you get sodium and chlorine back, then you can make the salt again. So we'll step back the mixer with this. So we have samarium 3 chloride. This is an LCR, HCl, and samarium 3 oxalate. To make that, it's a circuit 13, which is a very unique circuit. Only two recipes use this. In an LCR with diluted samarium rare earth and oxalate. This is just something that we'll make off-site, and we'll ship it over here, basically. Just kind of like a random recipe. Vanadium pentoxide is just an EBF, vanadium oxygen. And then, pretty basic stuff here. Methanol is hydrogen carbon monoxide, sure. I forget how we make this right now. Might be this recipe, I don't remember. But we have all that stuff on hand already. So yeah, the diluted samarium rare earth, this comes from mixing samarium rare earth mud with water. Samarium rare earth mud comes from the muddy samarium rare earth solution with nitric acid. We make tons of that right now. And the muddy solution comes from the digester, which is a new multi-block, and samarium ore concentrate dust. So I got a whole lot of this from mining a rubricium vein. As you can see, I could also process this down for even more, and we can get quite a bit out of it, because I have thousands of this crushed rubricium ore in there. And right now I have, let's see how many, over 1,000 samarium ore already. So I have the digester sat in this chest over here. This just seems to be a multi that, I don't know, I guess it just mixes stuff. It's just like a different kind of mixer. I don't really know. But we're going to make it, and we're going to do a little bit of a passive chem line. We're not going to actively or on demand do this one. We're just going to let it run. And we're going to temporarily do it this way, because I do have a solution for samarium ore later. Give a little preview. Meteor Ritual, ZPM Assembler. We're not in ZPM yet, but we will be getting samarium ore directly from the Meteor Ritual. So eventually we'll get over to that. But right now we need to do it the normal way, I guess. Alright, I got baited in doing something more complicated than I thought I was doing. So I thought it would be pretty easy. I thought the chem reactor recipes were going to be simple. There's actually better recipes in the dissolution tank. And with this, I get extra byproducts, which I'm very interested in. So the recipe I'm doing here is the nitric acid and muddy samarium rare earth solution. And then we get this extra like cerium stuff, whatever, it's fine. Not that interested in that right now. I probably will be at a date. But the issue with the dissolution tank is that you need to put in the items or the fluids at the perfect ratio. So ratio 1:1, 9,000, 9,000, then it will work. So how I went about this was making a subnet and a main net. I didn't color the subnet part, but my main net is pulling nitric acid from my ME system, and then this subnet is pulling muddy samarium rare earth solution into an input hatch with a fluid detector cover at 9,000, which is the amount that I want. Set the strong output. Don't know if it needs to be strong output because I have the wire right here, but whatever, it's fine. And then this wire goes to an export bus with a redstone card.
So the problem with this setup is that if I want this to go faster, I'm rate limited by the export bus, but I don't care right now. We're just gonna make it work for now. Because if I put acceleration cards in here, it'll likely overshoot 9,000. It'll put like 2 or 3,000 fluids in at a time, and that's not what I wanted to do. Same goes for this guy. So there's probably a better way to do this, but for now, this is how we're going to set it up, and I have the right idea for sure. So now also make sure if you do it like I did, turn off input separation, and now there you go. You have your stuff working. So on this end, the camera reactors, I'm experimenting with the stocking input buses for some of this stuff. So over here, now it should like automatically run this whenever it sees that in the subnet. That's the hope, at least. Haven't really experimented with these very much so far, but we're going to see if it works. And also these machines, yeah, they're all broken due to incomplete structures. That's okay. Are these not on? Oh, Oxley needs to be on the main net. That's a mistake. Okay. And then this is not going yet because this is not set up properly up here. So I got to fix the ratio on this end. And then water also needs to be main netted. Okay, so I'm going to move these buses down to the bottom here and fix that. And then this should work. I think everything's set up then to go perfectly. I also took my interfaces, or not interfaces, my terminals over to here. These are going to be helpful to just see, to get an idea what the line is doing. And then maybe we'll throw in some interfaces with the storage bus so I can get a look into this from the main net. So let me fix this and then we can wrap this up. Okay, I got to my output finally. So I think I did a pretty good job with this. I added in my mixer, which is making the samarium chloride, sodium chloride blend dust. And we're doing it this way. We're not doing it the more expensive way. And we're going to send this to the electrolyzer with my other stocking input bus. And then now we should be making samarium. If everything is chilling, right? Correct? Oh, you need a program circuit. Okay, my bad. Happy now. There we go. We're also making chlorine with that. Am I gathering that? I am. Okay. So that's recycle, which is pretty good. Okay. That's going to be a lot of samarium coming through right now because I processed everything else in the backlog while that was waiting, which did not take that long, honestly. There we go. Victory. We've achieved samarium. Hopefully this will last us for quite a while, and then I can make the upgraded version when I have access to like quad LU or double LUV energy hashes, so we can go to ZPM pretty easily then. Okay, now I can start programming the rest of these recipes because these were required for the LUV motors, I believe. Let me jog my memory because it's been quite a while. Yep, magnetic samarium rods. Oh yeah, I remember this was a problem too. I'm building a new multi-block as well. Where is it? Magnet. So the magnetic flux exhibitor. So this is actually kind of cool. I like this a lot, what this does. This needs different electromagnets. And these electromagnets kind of like go up in difficulty to make them. I could probably make this one pretty soon. It's like just a little bit annoying. Ruridit's fine. But now they have samarium, I can do this as well. I don't have the LUV assembler yet, but we will very soon. So yeah, we could upgrade that pretty soon. But this is basically just the multi-block electrolyzer. Kind of looks cool. I like it a lot. And then this idea of the electromagnets are really neat. So I think I have everything I need to build this already. Do I have the magnetic neodymium frame boxes? I remember those were kind of strange. No, how many of those did I need? I think it was 37. Yeah, okay. So let's request that. I was pretty pressed for neodymium for a while. Then I mined a huge monazite vein. Now I have tons of it, so we are happy with that. Speaking of the mining, I probably gotta move my miner again. It probably is finished since yesterday. And I also need to add to these monitors. Yeah, drill's exhausted. This is really cool. These monitors are really useful. But I should probably add to those monitors my saltwater drill and my oil drill as well, because those things also need to be monitored. And if they stop working, things are going to stop working around the base. And it looks like the oil one died, so I'm no longer making lubricant. But I mean, I have a good amount of it already, as we can see here, so maybe it's not that bad. We'll move that pretty soon. And we could upgrade the drill as well. I think that's a lower tier drill. All right, that's going to do me in for today. I got a lot done. Hopefully next time we actually test out the assembly line automation, because I haven't made anything in it yet, which is kind of funny. But pretty soon I'll be making motors once I get that last multi-block going. Maybe I'll move some more stuff over. This multi is probably going to get planted right in the middle over here. The big multis are annoying, because I want to plan to have like at least 2 to 4 of each multi here. I can just expand the roof if I want to go upwards more. I don't mind that. But I just got to rework the buses to make them make sense, which is not that bad. But yeah, like this guy, I don't know how many I'm gonna need of these. Like, just start building. That's basically what you got to do. Expect to tear stuff down, like this guy. But it's okay. Material presses, you can hang out there. So yeah, I'm like, I'll keep working, and then next time we'll actually get an LuV. Pretty much just like dipped our toe in it today, and then did the Samarium stuff, which is pretty necessary for LuV, but doesn't feel like we're officially LuV yet, guys. Yeah, until next time, thank you all for watching, and have a good day.